It's the end of the day. It's time to close up shop. However, something tells you to stay back for a bit. For the next hour or two, you'll be staying after hours. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another exciting, thrilling episode of the Double After Hours podcast. I'm Aaron Gresser. I'm here with Charles Robison.
I work alone.
And this is going to be a solo episode. I'm just going to be running the board.
What are you talking about? There's another person.
You're working alone. No, he's not here. You're working alone.
Hey, wait a minute. I'm here.
Forgotten. No.
I'm not forgotten.
No, he has not been forgotten. Shane Siegel, how you doing?
How could you steal that?
I did it again.
Yeah, that's my thing, but it's okay. I'm doing good. How about you, Aaron?
I am doing all right. I had to get up at 3:30 in the morning and had to drive all the way out to Genoa Township. Yay! For our Belgium listener that doesn't know where that is, 45 minutes away. 45 minutes.
That's where I live.
That's where he lives.
Yeah, well, that's where.
Yes.
That's where Charlie lives. I am not in that area.
No, you're not.
I'm just south.
Which one? What area you are in? The Lego Adventures of Clutch Power.
Yes,
Oh,
this is true.
boy,
Which is
oh,
the topic
buddy.
of today's episode.
Indeed, a topic that I decided that we should do.
Can you tell that he suggested this one?
Yeah, he's very
At
excited
all?
for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shane, what was going through your headspace when you made us watch this movie?
I work alone. That's basically it.
Okay, but I'm gonna need more than that.
I don't know, just
Yeah.
because like it's a classic childhood movie of mine that I watched when I was a kid. Clutch Powers is just truly amazing. Great guy. And,
He was best man at my wedding.
Yeah.
oh,
Gave
no,
a phenomenal speech.
no, he was the one in the dress. What are you
Stole my
talking
wife.
He was what, Shane?
about? I'm not gonna finish that.
He works alone.
He does. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Right after the wedding, he divorced me, and he said, "I work alone."
No.
Yeah. And before we get into the discussion of Clutch Powers,
Yeah.
I made Legos. Of
Yes,
all
you
five
did.
of us.
Which we'll get on our social medias.
I mean, they already are.
Yeah, it already
They
is.
are-
But we'll get a new.
We'll get a
maybe
new photo.
Right.
Here.
Yeah,
Right.
and with the photo too. That's
Yes.
next
Right,
to it.
because also we've been putting up sound panels in the
in
in the room on the ceiling, and this is
Oh.
so
one of
nobody
those.
can hear Aaron's screams for help.
And the
Yeah.
funny part about all this is that this is one of those old school tile ceilings. That's all like
think school. Think
yeah,
school.
Think school like soft ceilings.
That's the ones you throw pencils at.
So sticking anything to it is kind of a pain.
Especially when one of those tiles you push up on it, they all move.
Yeah,
Right.
it's terrible.
So we've just been kind of,
Yeah.
carefully getting these bad boys on here, and it looks like they're all doing okay. Hopefully, knock on wood.
Yeah.
But enough about that. We have to talk about
The world
frickin'
of Lego.
the god of sex,
Clutch.
Clutch Powers.
What about Uncle Dip? What about him?
Uncle Dip is a special character.
He's the inventor,
He's the inventor. Clutch is the perfecter.
and Skelly and Bones are the CEOs.
Dude, those two
Oh,
carried the movie
man.
100%.
But we'll get to it. So, Shane, this is a childhood movie, and it's a childhood movie of all of ours. We've all. This is my
Yeah.
first rodeo with Clutch.
Yeah.
I guess we'll kind of do what we did with Cars and Bolt, where we'll start from the beginning and we'll kind of work our way from there. So this movie opens. Well, actually, before we get to the movie,
Yeah.
if you have this on DVD, which a lot of us do, I think all of us in this room do.
I don't.
I
Really?
was able to watch it on Amazon Prime.
Wait, so how did you have
But
that?
actually, no, I take it back. I did have the DVD version of it.
Yeah.
Okay, Aaron, how did you watch it then?
So here's, I was talking about this a little bit before we started recording. But
Hold on, what sound panel is falling?
oh no.
No, but Aaron, while you're here, just explain the story
Yeah.
while Charlie's fixing
Well,
it.
while he's doing that, so I watched this movie on AT&T Uverse on demand.
Oh, wow. On demand.
Yeah.
Sounds gross.
Sounds gross. So AT&T Uverse, for those that don't know, for our Belgium guy and all the other listeners abroad, it's basically cable service. It's not. It kind of still exists, sorta, kinda. It's very, it does and it doesn't. They're trying to phase it out, but if you still have it, it's, if you still have like the old equipment, it still works. But yeah, so it had an on-demand service, and I guess that movie was on there at some point in like 2011, and then we just watched it.
Yeah.
And so that's Yeah.
I know, it's
oh,
great.
your mic is not working at all. Yeah, you are not
Oh,
in
no.
at all.
Please,
Jiggle the cable. Oh, there it goes.
don't
okay.
ever say a sentence like that ever again. Jiggle the cable. That sounds like an innuendo.
That's such a common phrase.
How much to jiggle my cables?
For a nickel?
Because I work alone.
Let's just.
No, let's unplug that cable again.
But anyway,
the cable.
Anyways.
okay, back to the point. This movie starts with a bunch
Yeah.
of Lego ads. Fun fact: none of those ads for those Lego sets that they make, those themes don't exist anymore.
Well, oh wait, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Power miners, agents,
Yeah.
space police. What else was there?
Knights.
Oh yeah,
Knights.
the knights.
Like, fun fact: all these themes big in this movie.
Yeah,
they don't
'cause-
exist anymore.
Because this
Yeah,
came out
they're
in
all
like, 2008. Those
All gone.
Yeah, and there's one theme that is top tier.
Yeah.
Power miners. Those sets are truly amazing.
Okay. Well, it actually just kind of let's just tie this into the opening because we're tied into. We see Clutch. We see
Yeah.
our boy. We see him.
The man.
The man, the myth, the legend, the
Yeah.
sex.
The tile that's falling off
No!
right now.
Not again.
Yeah. Well, anyways, it starts off with Clutch Powers entering a cave in a giant drill. He hops
Yeah.
out of it, and then his boss, Kjeld, which I do have a fun fact about that. Let me find it. Yeah. So Paul Michael Glasser's character is called Kjeld Playwell. Kjeld being the name of the CEO of the Lego company, Kjeld Kirk Christensen, and Playwell being what the word Lego is,
Right.
derived from the Danish leg and grot, which means play well.
So basically, this was just a glorified commercial.
I've known this since day
It's just
one.
adding to the allegations.
Right. But anyway,
Against who?
I guess the sex idol known as Clutch Powers.
Yeah, he
but
shows
anyway,
up, and then
so he-
Kjeld's like, "Yo, we're sending reinforcements. You need help." And,
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause
and
he-
you know what Clutch says?
he works alone. He says all smug and glee.
Of course.
Because he's drilling into the center of the earth and he's fine, I guess. So he walks around and he's trying to find a crystal, I guess, to power the city, as he directly states to the audience.
Because that's a thing.
Because
Right.
he'll power Lego City for
Because
a whole
power
year.
plants don't exist at Lego
Yeah,
City.
Okay.
nuclear power plants don't
Yeah,
exist.
you see, Lego. The
It's
Lego.
not real. There's no
the
such
Lego
thing as-
citizens figured out space travel, but they didn't figure out nuclear fission.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
a weird little quirk.
And that's why there's no Lego World War One or Lego World War Two.
Right. But anyway, so he finds a big crystal, but a big old rock monster wants to get him. So
Yeah.
he runs away and he makes a Power Miners ad.
Rock monsters. Why does it have to be rock monsters?
Yeah, there's your cheeky Indiana Jones reference, you son of a. But anyway, son of a brick.
Son of a brick.
But
Oh no.
so they're fighting for a while. Eventually, Clutch uses his godlike powers,
His
of
master
just
building
knowing
skills.
everything about Legos and everything in the universe you could know.
No.
And eventually defeats the rock monster. But then the rock he's holding is a child.
Whoa, the
Calling back
allegations.
to something, if you listen to our radio show,
Yep.
the National Today segment called "That's a Child."
Right.
That's a child.
Very, very famous around here. But anyway.
Yeah.
So he goes, a baby? That changes everything. And then punts it. No, I'm just kidding. But he gives it back to...
Field goal.
Yeah, exactly. He got the 3-point field goal
Yeah.
bonus. He won the Super Bowl.
Should have gone for that.
dropped it.
He got the ninth ring.
Should have gone for that 2-point conversion.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh my lord.
So, he gives the child back to the golem, and the golem's like, you know what? Even though you just destroyed me in combat and stole my child, here's a part of my flesh, and gives him a crystal off his body, or her body, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. Look, it sounded like the monster sounded like a guy to me. So we'll just call it a guy. And that's the only time that monster's shown in the movie.
Yep, just the opening
Yeah.
sequence.
Yep, and then it cuts to
Yeah.
Clutch, and it goes to the best song in the film.
Oh my God.
I Work Alone.
Yeah, which is, I think, the most literal song in
Oh,
the movie
very
I've
much
heard
so.
in a while, which,
yeah.
the only way to describe it is that it literally states everything that's happening on screen.
Well, yes, that, and it's also looking back to movies of the time. You think this is the most 2010, yeah, guys, this is the middle school concert. I could totally see a group of 4th graders singing that in the school concert.
Oh, yeah.
With the crappy recorder solo.
Oh, my God. And this movie... and this scene's pretty indicative about
The life of Lego City.
how the world sees Clutch, because everyone's in love with him.
Yeah, he's seen as a god.
He breaks traffic violations, and all anyone can say
the mayor.
is,
Oh, it's fine if Clutch Powers breaks all these laws. I'm fine with it. Oh, but little Brick Jimmy decides to litter on the streets. Life in prison
right.
without parole.
Because what happens is that he like flies over construction at one point or whatever.
There's
the guy just goes Clutch Powers.
Yeah, I was actually just about to say it's just Clutch Powers.
The one that gets me in that sequence is when he's driving past the firefighters.
Yeah.
And there's the one character.
Hey, Clutch, can we go with you?
Yeah,
We're on our way
there's
to
him.
a 4-alarm fire. Come on.
He's got he's the only one with sense here. He's the only one that's not part of this brainwashing of Clutch Powers.
Right.
He's like, let's go follow Clutch Powers. No.
We have a job.
You have a job to do. There are people burning, which we'll get to if Legos feel pain. We'll get to that later.
How do Lego fires work? I don't know.
Right. We'll get to that. We'll have a Cars style logic rant in a little bit.
Right.
But he's the only one that has sense in this entire sequence. All the rest of them, Clutch Powers.
All hail Clutch Powers.
Yeah, basically, Clutch Powers is a god in this movie and can only do wrong when the plot dictates it.
And I know we'll get to this a little bit later, but was there really any a point where he had like a realization that maybe he's not a god?
No.
No, there wasn't, right?
The only thing he really goes through is like, man, I should not do everything alone. Not because he's incompetent, but because like the others, like whatever.
And he's still smug about it too.
Yeah.
Like even when he's working with the team, he never stops with that I work alone attitude.
We should make a list of all the crimes Clutch Powers has done, because he's done a lot. He's done
child endangerment.
Yeah, child endangerment. Attempted
breaking
kidnapping,
multiple traffic laws.
Traffic laws, vandalism,
public disturbance,
violence, public disturbance.
Wait, yeah, exactly.
Terrorism.
He keeps looking at him.
No, there's also a terrorism. Terrorism, vandalism. He destroys his own billboard.
Invading a foreign land. That's a good one.
Yeah, invading foreign land. The list goes on, folks.
Right.
But then after
if you see Clutch Powers in your neighborhood, be sure to
and then
a breaking into a prison.
Yeah,
which happens a little bit later. We'll get to that, but. Yeah.
Right. So Clutch shows up to Lego headquarters and
then Kjeld's like, "You're late," and he's like, "You're welcome. I got as soon as I got the signal." And then they power up the computer, and then
Which question was that computer off the whole time?
Like only when everybody shows up do you turn it on?
Or no, because he needed the crystal to power. Remember?
Yeah.
Right. How do you reach Clutch?
How does a one single crystal that's like this big with my fingers?
Yeah.
It's like, how does that small crystal power up the entirety of Lego City?
Magic.
No, I think it was just the computer.
So it was just powering one computer.
Right. But still begs the question, was that computer off the whole time? Because he was talking to Dutch Powers or whatever.
Maybe the old crystal had like a little bit of juice left in it.
Right. Well, see, that part's irrelevant, immaterial, if you will.
But then, the Lego headquarters, I just want to jump back to that. That is the...
What?
Again, and it calls back to the theme song of this movie being so literal.
Right.
Everything in this movie is very... spelled out.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you see this throughout the whole entire thing.
Right.
A lot of jokes feel very forced, which again, we'll get to that later.
Right.
But
of course.
I feel like in the early part of this movie there were a lot of jokes that like, okay, that's actually kind of funny. Like I chuckled a bit at like a few parts.
Right.
But then as the movie goes on, it just becomes really crappy puns and like
there's like
which don't get me wrong, I'm on board with.
Of course.
I love awful puns. But like, you know, we're at Lego headquarters, right? We see bootleg Nick Fury go,
yeah, you're late.
You see white Lego Nick Fury go,
yellow Nick Fury, actually.
Shane?
He's white. Anyways.
Okay.
Listen.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to color code all the Legos.
All right, now let's...
Playwell's white. I don't want to hear any of this. Back to me. Now,
we now get to the part where the other characters are introduced.
No, but I was going to say, because there's no foreshadowing to this happening at all. Which, again, like, No, there's none. Like, yeah, we know Clutch works alone. We're well aware of that fact at this point in the movie.
We're well aware he's a
But
narcissist.
there's nothing really to say, like, oh, you're gonna. I mean, I guess that one line of the guy saying he'll send reinforcements, but that doesn't really matter.
That was
Right, that
killed
was-
in the first line.
I feel like because that wasn't like a flashback sequence.
No,
that
it
was,
was just- it was just-
this was like live opening of the movie, current setting.
right.
So
Because if like, because which is weird because like if Clutch messed up at all during,
Yeah.
like, I guess technically you could say, oh, he didn't know The Rock was a baby, but then he fixed it, so like whatever. But
Right.
if Clutch like genuinely like messed up, like, oh, he stole a child or whatever,
Right.
like he destroyed some kind of consequence that kind of makes him realize he needs a team.
Yeah.
Oh no! All the panels are falling.
panels are falling.
Oh, no! You know,
the
we're
British are coming.
we're gonna leave him there.
Yeah,
It's
it's
fine.
fine.
anyways.
Whatever, Paul.
So let's get to the characters.
But yeah,
That's
so
gonna be
we're-
a fun one on the cutting room floor. Oh, the panels are falling.
Yeah.
Snip, snip.
So we're introduced to our unlikable band of
Brick
characters.
Masterson, firefighter, demolitions expert, and then there's something else to his name.
Oh, I thought you like just knew them all by heart. You were just
Yeah, I
gonna
was
list
about
them
to say.
all.
No,
off.
and then there's Peg Mori, biologist,
Yeah, the
who
to-
single-handedly discovered 12 species of marine life.
Remember-
Actually, no, it was 13.
Yeah, remember it's 13. Don't sell
And
it
then,
short.
last but not least, the German Bernie von Bean,
yeah,
the Lego team's most brilliant engineer.
yeah,
Right.
which then gets into a weird love situation going
Not
on a
even
little bit
weird.
later.
As soon as he sees Peg, automatically in love.
Yeah,
He automatically
but Peg
bricked
didn't
up.
have to.
Shut up.
You know, we'll get into that in a bit. How many times am I going to say that? Anyways,
But yeah.
They're the characters. and
at
that's
this
the
point,
team.
we're only like what 7 minutes, 10
minutes
minutes
in,
into the
maybe.
movie. Yeah, which is about where I like my childhood memory of this cut off. Because when I was rewatching it last night at 1 a.m,
Nice.
and then I went
Nice.
to sleep and woke up an hour later to go to work. But
Right.
it was weird. Like this whole movie, the whole rest of the movie was just like a blur until I rewatched
Right.
it. I remembered some of the characters, like you were
What's-
talking about Scully and what was it, Scully and Bones?
Yeah.
Because I remembered Scully and Bones a little bit later, and like the well, you know,
Right.
if you haven't seen this movie yet, you know,
Just go watch it.
just go watch it. The you know, the other characters in the movie started to like oh yeah, I remember that guy.
Right.
I remember that. But that didn't come until I rewatched the movie.
Right.
So I don't know if this is just a me thing that the first 12 minutes are the most memorable part. Maybe
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's
so
something.
anyway, we're introduced to our unlikable band of characters.
Yeah, and then Clutch is like,
that we're
"Yo,
stuck with
oh,
the
this
rest
is
of
great.
the next
However,
hour.
however,
And-
I just work alone. And then they all try to like follow
Yeah.
suit.
Yeah,
and then
they're all sad.
Except for Bernie, who's just like, I work well with others.
Yeah.
Terrible
Right.
German accent I just did.
Thanks for that, Shane.
Yeah, I know. And then and then the group learns about a prison escape that happens on the planet, and the
Yeah.
space commissioner is like, "Oh, we need help. Send reinforcements." And then they lose connection. Which, when I was a kid, I thought the police commissioner just died there. But no.
I mean, no.
But we'll get to
Right.
that later.
He really has a thing for those reinforcements, and it doesn't.
Yeah, yeah. Sending reinforcements.
Yeah,
The
God
entire
forbid, he hates
12
working.
minutes is
He
reinforcements.
hates working alone.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, so we're there. I guess we gotta go to the prison planet now. We're introduced to a random engineer character we never see again in the other movie.
Arthur. Or,
Yes,
which
Arthur.
Just another
AFOL,
character to
adult fan-
swoon over Clutch.
Also, AFOL stands for Adult Fan of Lego. Fun fact.
Oh.
So that's why he's the most unlikable character.
What
So
up?
yeah, and then he's just like head over heels for Clutch Powers. He's like, you're not royalty, you're a god, which basically confirms Clutch Powers is
Is a
a god.
Right.
yeah.
And then
So,
he
you know.
shows
By a
off the
god by the
spaceship,
people,
and
yeah.
and then Brick's like, how are we supposed to fit in this little tiny thing?
it's
And then
a
it's just
model.
like, oh,
Yeah.
there's a giant ship there.
Yeah.
Should have seen
Wow.
that beforehand.
So then they crappily do a parody of all space movies where they walk in the hallway and they
Very
get stuck.
slowly.
And they get stuck,
And then
yeah.
Brick's hand falls off. Or
The
whatever.
thing with that scene, and I know I'm not the writer here, and I'm not the, you know, that's
Director.
your thing.
That's me.
But
You can
but-
fume on
you can
it.
you can fume over this in a little bit. But the thing that got me with that scene is like I think they messed it up.
Right.
I don't think that they did it right, because with that kind of scene, you have to be a little more fast paced with like the dialogue and like, you know, the conundrum that's going on, because there's like a lot of scenes where it's just like a fixed camera on one of them just going and then like 5 seconds later, then they say something, and then there's another 10 seconds of
Of like something small going on,
So
and then there's dialogue.
I just think the pacing of that joke was it was funny at the first part, but then like
Right.
the pacing was just kind of thrown off.
Pacing was awful. I
It was-
think, of
it
this
was
movie.
weird.
Just in through the entire movie.
Oh, I could not get around it because I'm
pacing
just
was-
sitting, and because we're just introduced to character after character that goes nowhere. Like, we saw Eiffel for one scene, we saw him swoon over Butch Clowers,
Yeah.
and that was it.
Yeah, we saw it.
And another one will come up later in the movie.
Right. And so they get on the ship, and they're flying around, and apparently this villain has a connection to Clutch's dad.
Somehow.
Yeah,
Not
but
really.
can we talk about the fact
Because
of
Clutch
how
Powers has the one thing that can harm a god, daddy issues. And
that's a good one. No, before we go on, can we talk about the fact of how there's pizza delivery in space?
I mean,
Which
yeah.
we'll get to another thing
Right,
about
Aaron and I
that
were
in a little
arguing
bit.
about that earlier,
Yeah. Debate night. It's back.
Left, right, debate night.
but right. So I guess we order a pizza or whatever. Why not? Sure.
But does he ever get the pizza?
I don't
Did we
think
ever
so.
see-
We never
I
see
never
it.
No,
saw
we
it
never
like that
see
he
it.
got the pizza.
The universe's greatest question.
I don't
So
know,
was
I
he
mean-
just like, was this just an unnecessary comment like, who ordered pizza? You know, like,
no,
wasn't
just like,
any of
"Where's
them?
my pizza?"
Yeah, I guess someone else. I don't know, man. But so anyway, so
They just left the mic on in the booth.
I don't know.
It was like some
All right,
actor, like
all right,
Jets
all right,
guy
Houston-
walked in.
All right, Houston, how's the space station? Yeah, I'll take a large pepperoni with anchovies.
Like someone
Got the
actually,
pizza.
like they're recording in the most serious scene in the movie. You're like, holy crap, Hungry Howie's, how'd it get here?
Wow.
But
I don't know why that made me laugh so
no,
much.
because like, the image of someone in like one of the voice actors in the booth, like recording the scene, and
Yeah.
like the other guy,
It's
like the
super
voice
sad.
actors on the voice directors on the other end, just
And they're just looking at you,
Ordered
just
the
eating the
pizza.
pizza.
anyway.
Speaking of the voice actors,
yeah,
this movie did not have an all-star cast.
not
It had one of the firefighter guy. He
Masterson?
yeah, he sounded like his voice actor was trying to do like a sound-alike of Patrick Warburton.
kind of.
He was kind of trying to do a little bit of this. Like I heard that a
Yeah.
little bit like within like he was trying to do his own original voice, of course, but
Roger
I-
Rose.
I could hear that in there, like the
Right.
influence.
This guy does not look like a Brick Masterson to me.
No, he does not.
He looks more so like I don't know.
A guy.
Yeah, like a
Thanks
regular
for the commentary.
dude.
But there was the other one too, which will, yay, which we'll get to a little bit later. The Scully.
Yeah, Skelly.
He sounded like Chris Rock.
I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
He reminded me. He had like the Chris Rock style voice, but it wasn't Chris Rock. It was
Right.
some
It was Risk Croc, but
Chris Rock.
Wow.
but
I should have known that was his
wasn't
alter
that funny.
ego.
Like,
Yeah, kind of is.
but anyway.
That's
So we're on
great.
the spaceship. Clutch expresses his daddy issues to Pam because I
Yeah.
guess this group of villains or whatever his dad was chasing and then he died or whatever. I don't know.
He just went missing.
Yeah, but he went MIA.
Which you'd think.
Sequel bait.
Which you think right? Sequel bait that never happened.
Right, but we'll get to that.
That's the problem. Like that gets me too. Is like there never was the sequel, but
Right, but anyway. So
that ties in with the end
so
of the
we
movie.
get to the
but-
space planet
yeah.
with the spaceships that I guess the police people have already being there.
Okay.
So we get on the planet, they go down the elevator or whatever, and they're investigating.
It's not like anybody had to break into a prison.
Now here's what I'm confused about. The main villain of this movie is a big old wizard, right? Super strong wizard, one of the deadliest 3 villains in the galaxy.
Sure.
Number 3, I assume. So he's a wizard, right? Magic spells. Why
You're a
was he
wizard.
locked still in there?
How is he able to escape? Did Skelly and Bones?
No.
No, because they were in a different universe.
No, but my question is that if this wizard is so strong, why can't he get out? Because when we see we see him multiple times in the movie. He's in this scene. He's skulking around.
Well, he has the
Lightning
thing.
staff.
He has the staff. So
Yes.
maybe that was taken
But
away.
he's a wizard.
Yeah, but he needed the staff to do anything.
He's a wizard, though. Like, okay, even by that logic, he still had the staff the whole time.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Maybe like what we're not seeing off screen is him. He's locked up, right? He's like maximum security.
Right.
And like maybe, I don't know, he got let out for lunch or something, or he tricked a guard. It's clear that some of the people in this
but remember,
universe
this
are not
breakout-
the
They're not
smartest
smart.
people.
This breakout happened 2 days ago. That's 2 days he has to figure out a way out, and he's one of the strongest wizards in the universe, and didn't figure it out.
Maybe he was put in a minimum security
I'm
prison.
just saying, this character seems
Or a
severely
lower security
underpowered for what we're being sold as. Like, he's a wizard. Why can't he just, like, make the door
He couldn't
levitate or
say,
turn into chicken?
Wingardium Levio, let me out of the prison.
Turn into chickens or something. I don't know, anything. Like, and this is the part that I'll say for a little bit for later that frustrates me about the villain, is that you set him up as a wizard. You
Yeah.
can do so much cool stuff with that. But all
you
we get
don't.
is lightning. Yeah.
Lightning powers.
And that's
Yeah.
all we get. Like, I get you have to make it feasible for the heroes to friggin' have a shot. But, like,
Of course. Mm-hmm. And it's, it's
but it just, like, I'm just
built
sitting there
for
going,
kids.
this villain should have been able to break out so much earlier.
Easy
but
and easier.
whatever. So,
He gets out.
so Clutch and the gang are goofing around and they accidentally mess everything up and the villains escape.
Yeah, they escape in the
and
ship.
then one guy burps.
yeah. Brick had like onions and a burrito platter.
Which comes back around later in the
Somehow.
movie.
Yeah, it does in a way.
But
And the other ships that are on like the main platform are destroyed by the villains. They escape and they are all blaming each other on who left the spaceship unlocked,
Right.
who left the keys in the ignition, who left the instruction manual on the dashboard.
it was just a real blame fest kind of going around.
Yeah.
Which-
You know,
And then the
mess-
watch commander's like, okay, you guys are not a team. You guys need to go save the universe from these people. Duh.
I don't think it happened in this scene, but I do remember that like when the blame game kind of goes around, Clutch kind of takes the blame for a
No,
lot of the
that's
stuff
literally
that
the
happens.
next scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Like,
next scene, but I was saying the one that we were just talking about.
No, right,
Because
'cause
I don't think it happens there, but
Because they talk to White Nick Fury.
yeah.
And. But
Yeah.
what? You can't-
White Nick Fury.
It was a thing before.
Yeah, that is true.
Right.
It still makes me laugh though.
But anyway, yeah, because he's
More
just talking
accurate Nick
to
Fury.
bald white
Yeah.
Nick Fury. And he's like, you guys messed up. And Clutch is like,
No,
I
we
messed
can't
up.
forget the
I'm
part where
aware.
they're trying to build a spaceship and then they mess it up and Clutch is like, all right, you know what? I'm going to do this on my own. You guys just go sit in the corner, twiddle with your claws or thumbs.
Claws?
Yeah, because they have claws for their hands. Because they're
Yeah, they're
like,
just hands.
yeah, go twiddle with your hands, go
They
like,
can't twiddle. They have no fingers.
yeah, you can do this.
They can like spin them around.
Yeah, yes,
What does that accomplish?
you can
I don't know.
Nothing.
Yeah, and then Clutch
like,
builds
you know,
the
it's like
ship,
doing
and
this
then they're talking to Kjeld, and Clutch is like, yeah, well, it was actually my fault, and what's his name, Brick blames it all on Peg, and he's like,
Right.
oh, I can't hear you, ha 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 ha, it's your fault, womp womp.
He's supposedly a 20 to 30-year-old man, and he's, doing this nonsense.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
job. Yeah.
Good job using the woman as a scapegoat.
I guess legal feminism is, alive and well in this world.
Down.
But,
Gotta pack extra hair.
which
A girl's got to be prepared.
I guess. I don't know, man. But, so we're
Oh,
in the
Paul, let me get my
spaceship.
second hair out real quick. Hold on.
Yeah.
So we're in the spaceship. It's the whole blame game, and they have to go to
The night
mi-
planet where they learn about
medieval land.
Malik the Malign, the evil wizard of Ashlar.
Which confuses me because what are we now, like 20 25 minutes into the movie,
I think so.
and there's still this movie's an hour and what is it, like an hour and 20?
Right, we breeze past a lot of this stuff relatively quickly.
So this, we have Lego City, right? We have
Yes.
the prison planet, and
Now we're in
that all
space.
that's like 20 minutes, right? So the rest of this movie
Right.
takes place on the same in like the
Yep.
same territory.
Yeah.
You have a whole universe to explore, but you're just you're limiting it to one big old
Nice.
medieval
Yeah.
funny place.
So anyway, so they land in Stonehenge or whatever, and they
Lego-
mess and they break
yeah.
it.
Of course. Well, that's quintessential
Bernie
kid
is
movie.
upset. He's fuming that it's
Yeah.
gone. He's like, "How dare you break this historical piece? I'm going to kill you in your sleep.
Right.
I'm going to remove."
I love
your
how they
leg."
kind of just blow over that. Like, you know, that's a historical monument. You destroyed it, and all you do is a frowny face and a wipe transition. Like,
No,
that's all you can give me.
He said it's hard to parallel park, and that was the end of it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I was
Remember
able
that.
to pass my parallel parking with flying colors.
Clearly, Brick didn't. But anyway,
yeah.
so they're walking around and they find out their tech guns don't work. Oopsie.
When they were trying to shoot the
I'll-
skeletons,
I'll get mad at that later because
There's
there's
big wizard powers going
Right.
on.
Great, because his powers can do that. I guess not alluded to at all. You can do that. Just shooting lightning or whatever.
Yeah, but he's like a master's army too.
Right. He's like, yeah, I'm back. And
Oh
it's
yeah,
like,
I'm evil. I'm an evil wizard. Ha ha ha!
Right.
Eat lightning.
so
nerds.
so they're walking around, right? And
Yeah.
they find an abandoned like mine or whatever it is, something like that.
Yeah. It's like a cave
So-
thing.
No, it's a
Right.
mine.
Is it a mine?
Yeah, it
It's
is
a
a mine.
mine,
It is a
yeah.
mine. Yeah.
Okay.
So Clutch is like, you other three, figure out whatever. I'm gonna go look for the prince. So he sings Purple Rain. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
And so Clutch, he walks around or whatever, and I think this is when we're introduced to freaking Skeleton Bones at this point.
No,
we're
they were
introduced. We're
when-
introduced to the dwarf guy.
No,
that's
okay.
much later.
I
Is
that
can
a little bit
explain this
later?
part.
Okay.
So we first see Skeleton Bones when they're delivering the innocent people over to Malik, and they're just like,
That's
"Oh,
right.
we didn't lose the castle; it's just missing." And then Malik
That's
nearly
right.
commits murder on the people, and then puts them on the car. And then he's just like, "Did you guys find the prince?" And they're just like, they come up with this elaborate story, and at the end of it, you want to know what they say?
Yeah.
It was a dark and stormy night,
Night.
which
Right.
made Malik fuming.
Right.
He was
Yeah.
upset. He's like, "Go find me the prince."
Right.
And he also electrocutes the skeletons.
How?
And I'm so confused on how that works.
Isn't there also a running joke that there's like a wall that keeps getting broken?
Something like that, yeah. Keep crashing
know.
into walls.
Yeah, it's like there's this one wall of the tower that keeps like getting like people keep crashing through it.
Yeah.
Right. And another thing that ends up happening, well, because this is a little bit before or whatever, because there's this one joke that I really like where when Malik's kind of like, ratting them out, like, what exactly happened here? They just keep doing the elbow thing when they keep hitting each other in the elbow.
You know,
Yeah.
Hey,
Like,
it's- you
that's really
speak.
funny. I'm sorry. That made me laugh.
No, it's just
But-
like, yeah, you gotta speak. You gotta speak. Come
But
on.
anyway, so we're introduced to Idiot 1 and Idiot Poo. So,
Dumb and Dumber.
Electric Boogaloo.
right, getting electrocuted Boogaloo.
Yeah, there you go.
Clutch is walking around or whatever.
He then meets a giant troll.
Yeah, he meets a troll, and the troll's like, "Grr,
You gotta
can't-"
pass 3 tests. If
Right.
you succeed, I'll take you to
Right,
the prince. And if
so-
you don't, I get to eat you.
Right, so Clutch passes the first test by building a bridge. Cool, I guess. He
Yeah.
passes the second test by solving a riddle. Great.
Which
Or,
I do
sorry.
have the riddle, and it's using nothing but standard 8 stud bricks. How many bricks would you use to build a spiral staircase as tall as 3 minifigs?
None, because they don't
Connect on the
don't
diagonal.
connect on the diagonal.
So it's a
Right,
trick
so
question.
it's
It
ju-
cannot be done.
So great job, Clutch.
Yeah.
Apparently, when you're a Lego explorer, not only do you know how to mine, fly ships, you also know architecture. Cool, I guess.
I mean, well,
We can have
it
him
kinda
build my house.
Kind of builds on
yeah.
on the whole master builder thing.
Well, yeah, but like, unlike the Lego movie, which it's very clearly stated, you're a master builder, Emmett. Nah.
Yeah, but
Like-
like that's like the Lego thing. 'cause
I
I guess they were trying to
know,
like
but-
tap off the games.
Like, it was a thing in the games, but like, in the games, it's like a mechanic. Here, it's like when you need a
use it-
story-driven reason for it. It just makes Clutch seem like he knows everything.
Well, he is
It's
God.
Yeah.
I know!
Yeah, we made
But it
that.
bugs
Alex.
me. I don't want Clutch
That's
to
the
be...
new name of
Is there-
this
is there
episode. Is
such thing
Clutch
as-
Powers
as the
God.
Is there such thing as the Clutch Bible? In that,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's his dad's diary.
yeah.
in the beginning,
And he
Clutch
fumes
build
over
the world.
But anyway.
This lore is making all too much sense.
But there's question number 3 where...
It's a riddle.
Right, he's a riddle. Like, you can hold my hand, but you cannot touch. You see my favorite. It's a whole thing. And it's like, realize it's my father. Yeah.
Dad.
My dead dad. And the troll's like, good enough. And then
Good enough.
And
He's really phoning it in with that one.
and Skelly and Bone show up and go, "We're gonna get you, Clutch." And the
of
troll's
course.
like, even though as established, Clutch could easily handle these nerds because he's defeated the whole rock monster.
Right, 'cause he's God.
Right, the two incompetent skeletons. Oh man, that's a little tricky. So the troll eats Clutch as God intended.
I love how
runs away.
they're trying to set up like a Roadrunner and Coyote situation.
They
Right.
did.
Sometimes with like, you know, with those traps. Like there was a trap later on where he's like with the
right with the,
the
fake
cage.
person.
Yeah.
yeah.
So-
And literally set up a whole Bugs Bunny bit.
Right.
Yeah, and then Hogar, the giant troll, he makes it to the wall. He
Yeah.
pushes a button, gets through, and then Skelly and Bones are arguing with each other about like who lost the castle. And then they try and go back to Malik and explain what happened again.
Which they can't see the crudely painted wall.
Yeah, they'd
Well,
be
yeah,
able to s-
again, wizard. How you have a crystal ball?
They're
but anyway,
skele-
And
They're
the
skeletons.
thing's
They're not
not
smart.
that high. The wall is not that
yeah,
high.
it's not like
Also, how long
Attack
did
on
it take
Titan
to
walls
build
or
that
whatever.
wall?
right. You could see over that.
No, right. But anyway, so
Shane, what were you saying?
How tall is like how long did it take for the troll to build that wall? He built
mean-
it faster than Donald Trump.
I mean, surely he the. Yeah,
At least that wall got finished.
yeah, keep the skeletons out and make the kingdom great again. But anyway, so
Drain the swamp.
drain the. Oh my god, that one works too well. But
Oh man.
anyway,
Just keep going.
Yeah. Anyways.
so Clutch is then teleported to the plot
Yeah.
where. You know, there's a king that died defeating.
Yeah,
or
who
trying to
lost
defeat,
his creation spark?
which
Which,
is- he just
how
died.
does that work?
I'm
we
just
were-
assuming it's death. I'm assuming it's a kid.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I
I
can't say
think-
die.
Sure, but we're not. We're told nothing about any of this.
I mean, we were told creation spark like I think
When?
earlier.
it was when they were talking to Kjeld in the spaceship.
Then. But again, I just assumed it meant death. So it's like because it's a
yeah.
kids movie. So like whatever. I'll let it.
Yeah, he didn't fold
There's
the
bigger
pieces and
things
lose
to
his
get mad about.
studs.
Hey, Clutch, he died.
Yeah. But anyway, hey Clutch, you know your dad. He's dead.
Hey, Clutch, you know what happened to your father? He broke into tiny little pieces of himself.
Yeah.
He's dead.
But again, Legos. I don't know if they feel pain. But anyway, we'll get
Which
to that.
we'll get to that later. The Cars rant
But again,
is Car style rant is
but
coming.
But Clutch is, he's getting teleported to the plot. So the king, the former king, is dead because Malik killed him or whatever.
Womp womp.
So
Right.
then it's all up to the prince. But guess what? The prince is kind of
He's weak and
he's not
scrawny.
very good at this game.
Yeah.
So whatever. So Clutch is like here to, I guess, teach him how to be a king
And
Which
yeah.
he
and help him out. Which,
rejects.
first of all, how does Clutch know how to use a sword?
Because he's God.
Yeah,
Right, you know,
he's God.
why should I ask any more questions? Anytime I ask a question like that, it's because Clutch is the god.
He is God.
Yeah.
This is not even like an allegory anymore. He's literally just God.
Yes,
Genuinely
the allegory
God.
of Clutch being God.
No, he's just God.
Little did I know that
Exactly.
Clutch Powers was actually an allegory for modern day Catholicism.
They do hide like statues of Clutch Powers in the city,
Really?
probably.
Right.
I mean, there's.
He's got that billboard he crashes through in the beginning.
Right, with his face on it. What's he
Right.
advertising? Who knows?
oh,
I
it was
know.
the
The
it was the Lego agent's car. It was a spy car.
Right, it was.
Right.
He advertises his car. What,
Church
Do you
of-
have car?
the Church
do you
of
have
Clutch.
Lego car insurance?
what a narcissist. But anyway.
No,
So
no, he
Clutch is
he's
like,
God.
you got to use the sword this way because how you're doing it, kind of sucks, man. And
Yeah.
the prince tries to do it Clutch's way, and the prince fails harder or whatever.
Sure.
Because the prince is like, I can't do this. I need time.
Of course, he's a moody teenager.
But the
Crybaby.
plot happens because the
The movie's got to go on.
Yeah.
because the skeletons are going to invade or whatever. They're gonna
Attack. And
some
also,
attacking.
and then we get back to the mine where the others are working on getting like the
Right.
pieces ready to build their vehicle.
How long were the skeletons and the wizard plotting for this big attack?
Don't know, man.
I don't know.
That doesn't add up. I mean,
I feel like you would have done this earlier. I don't
Yeah, he could have done it earlier.
like especially if you have that crystal ball that can show you everything.
Right, apparently
You get the CCTV of Clutch Powers.
I guess the Bugs Bunny wall did a real number.
Okay, I did
It's
forget.
got the wall,
Now there's a part
blocks TV cameras.
If only I could move past this wall.
There's a part
Yeah.
that we forgot to talk about. It was when Clutch was starting to go towards the bridge and stuff, and Malik is just like, "What do you think you're doing?" And he's talking to one of the trolls, and he's like, "I asked you to bring me a mini fig. This is a real fig." And he's holding like a piece of chicken, and he's like, "Find me the prince now!" Throws it at him, and then the troll runs into the wall, crashes, and it's just like, this place is going to pieces. So he uses his staff that only uses lightning to rebuild the wall.
Right.
And then he talks to Skelly and Bones, is just like, follow him, and he'll lead us to the prince. Simple as that. Now back to the mine where they're getting the pieces ready to build their vehicle.
Right, so we get our stereotypical German, our stereotypical tough guy arguing about calling pieces what, and
Yeah,
obviously
doodads and
he lets
doohickeys.
and he lets the girl get away
Yeah.
with it because she's the girl.
Would you like a blue thingy or a red thingy?
Here's the thing. I think that scene goes on for a little too long.
I agree.
It does.
But
Like that could have ended in maybe the second one, but
Right.
it goes on for like 5 more.
Yeah, and then Bernie gets his own new hairpiece, which
Right,
is
why?
like a gear.
I mean,
apparently.
it's I right. Cool on him, I guess. So anyway, so Peg goes to investigate the dragon or whatever, or well, what she thinks is a griffin, but turns out, oh no, it's a dragon. Then she gets burned alive, but apparently
Yeah.
it's not an issue.
Yeah, no.
Because
it's-
again, Legos don't feel pain.
Ye-
I guess not enough pain. I don't know.
Do we want to start that rant now? I think this is an opportune time to at least kind of
Legos-
kickstart this
They feel
segment.
mental pain.
How?
Physical pain? Nah. Mental
How?
pain? Yes.
Just how?
Here's the thing.
Yes.
And this is later iterated. Spoilers later in the movie.
Yeah. Spoilers for Clutch Powers.
For Clutch Powers, guys.
That's been out for over a decade.
Yeah, you've had 14 years to watch it. That's crazy. That movie came out 14 years ago.
It's crazy.
But later in the movie, the German... I'm just going to call him... He's the German guy,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. The sauerkraut smuggler himself
He gets his lower torso
ripped apart.
ripped off because...
He's stuck.
Right, he's stuck in the chair and that's in this cart thing that they build, which we're in the scene we're talking about.
We've gotten too far, but then we'll
I
go
know,
back.
but we'll go back. So, but he gets ripped off, right? I don't think the Legos feel like I don't think it's like a pain thing. I think it's more of an inconvenience.
Yeah.
they think,
Because
I lost
he's
a
like-
hand. Dang it.
Right,
I
he's
gotta
just
go
kind
get
of
it.
jumping around or like kind of, just torso hopping.
Right.
Which that's a weird phrase, torso hopping.
Torso hopping.
But he's torso hopping, but that's the only thing he can do. Like he's
Right.
just kind of, and which comes to the battle scene too. Like, do they feel pain in this whole scene? I think it's more of just they get kind of knocked out, and they're just kind of there, like, oh, okay, well, I'm done.
Right.
So, anyways, that's
But
my
anyway.
thoughts on the whole pain.
So the
thing.
plot happens, the skeletons are about to attack or whatever,
Yes.
and the prince is like, I'm not ready, I'm not gonna help, or something like that.
Yeah, which of course,
So
that's gonna have it. He's gonna have a change of heart. It's
No,
one of
right.
those movies.
Exactly.
yeah. And
It's the trope.
So Clutch is like, all right, I guess I'm gonna have to fight them on my own, and we're introduced to a troll that lives in the mine.
Yeah,
that we
which
just found out about.
Lofar,
That
who's his
shows up
name?
in how many scenes?
Like a couple,
a few
like
scenes,
barely.
and then Clutch is like, "Yeah, we got each other to do this." And then they
Right.
build this rig, which looks terrible or something. I have to admit, it is terrible. I've seen
Okay.
better rigs.
I have to admit, bad job, guys.
Yeah.
Bad job.
You should, honestly, we
You know,
we
guys,
should not
if I can be
let,
100% honest,
we should let the Lego
you suck.
God create it.
Yeah.
yeah,
You suck.
should have let freaking
Yeah,
Clutched out.
and then after that, they're going to Malik's castle, and then the Sir Lancelot or whatever the guy's name is, Varen,
There
he
you
shows
go.
up and he's like, "Yeah, I brought my army here
Yeah,
to help."
you know
There's
that
only like 12 of them, and then more start to show up. That's not
No, but also it's funny to me because he had this whole change of heart off screen. Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm good.
we didn't get that.
Right.
He wasn't
Like,
like,
where
he
does
didn't
that
look at
come
the
from?
photo of Clutch and he's just like, maybe I should go help him. Come on, let's go.
Right. He was looking longingly
All
at
the
his-
king's horses and all the king's men showed up to help the Lego God.
Yeah.
I guess so. So,
Yeah, and then they come up with a plan to get into the castle to
Yeah.
try and stop Malik. So then Peg becomes the prince, and then
Which
is so weird. And then
that's so weird.
Varen
that
has
one
to
was
wear
a
her
weird
hair,
scene.
and it's like I look like a girl, a very pretty girl.
dude,
Definitely-
I ship it.
Yeah, and then
man.
eventually, Clutch and Varen make it into the castle, and then they fight the Tin Man, and then
yeah,
he
they
gets
find a statue that comes alive. Or
yeah,
whatever.
and then he gets chopped in half, and then Malik's like, "Good job, and your father couldn't make it past here because he's just bad, and I took his creation spark." And then Clutch is like, "Stop being a meanie head to him." But
yeah,
then
exact
Sl-
words, by the way.
And
Yeah.
then Clutch hears his
Best
father's
writing.
voice. He hears his father's voice from the crystal ball.
Yeah.
He gets basically hypnotized by it, and he just wants to see he sees his dad again because he went out to get Lego milk. I had to put that analogy in there. Go on.
I have no words for that one.
I don't like this movie.
Well, guys, we'll see you later.
But anyway, so after Lego Dad or whatever, after
Is fake.
Dad Powers is ripped away from him,
Does he ever have an official name?
I don't
No.
remember.
No, he doesn't.
Wait, no, Wait,
Does he have an official name?
I'm trying. I'll find it. I'll look
Okay,
this up.
so
Hold
while
on.
Shane figures
Yeah.
that daddy issue out, so Clutch and the Prince Varen lose and they're locked in a
Rock
cell.
Powers. That's who it was.
Rock
There
Powers.
it is. But I prefer my name, Dad Powers. So
Dad Powers.
key thing to remember is that during this entire fight that they have with the statue before the wizard shows up, Varen was failing to get out his the golden sword, which is the only thing
Right.
that can defeat the wizard. Wow, wow, wow. So it's stuck in
Wow,
the
good
dungeon
job.
where the wizard was that he literally could see. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the wizard is under the impression that no one has the sword. It's still in the kingdom. Keep in
Right.
mind, crystal ball. Why can't he see?
He could.
The wall.
Yeah,
But it's not in
on
the wall anymore.
No, the sword is still in the scabbard and it's on the floor. He can just look around while he's cleaning up the mess and say, "Oh, there's the sword here. Why don't I claim it?"
You know, I'm starting to see. I don't know. It's probably pretty obvious too.
Trying to
But-
see this movie for what it
This
is.
movie, no. I think
Suddenly.
this wizard character was purposefully set up like this
To be
Right.
terrible.
to be terrible and stupid.
But I don't think it's stupid.
But it's common sense.
But it's not written
lacking
but
common
it's not
sense.
him being written to be stupid. It's just the plot. Like it's just the writers purposely not writing these easy wins to make sure like the characters have like
Right.
don't automatically lose.
To make sure that God power stays in his God
Right.
status.
Because God forbid we stop sucking God power studs for 2 seconds.
His studs
Wow.
and his rod.
Oh my god.
Would you like a blue thingy or a red thingy?
Right. Which one does Clutch have? Find out now. But anyway.
A green one. Fancy.
The purple one.
But anyway, so
purple one.
And then
So-
they're everybody's they're the
Right,
the good
and
guys are retreating and
Right.
they're in the rig and Bernie's like, "No, we need to slow down." But then Hogar's like, "No, we gotta speed up." So they keep running and they crash, and then Clutch and Varen are trapped in a prison full of bones.
I like how in that one scene, it's like when they're building the cart, they like miss the piece.
The
And
one
then-
piece.
The one piece. And the one piece is
The one piece is real.
can Clutch get much higher? So high.
Copyright strike.
Yeah, can't wait for that copyright strike. Anyways,
Yeah.
but that one piece like is real.
Which is a real piece.
I'm just with the thing on his head. It reminds me of the Lego Movie. And I think maybe
the Craggle?
No, when
the
he's got
Craggle,
like in
the
the
red one?
one scene where he's in the Wild West and he's got the wheel on his head and he uses
Oh,
it, like,
yeah, he
he
uses it
becomes
as
the
a-
wheel. And
I'm a chair.
Like
Come
a-
sit on me. You don't remember that scene from the Lego movie?
I do remember that.
I don't. I thought Shane was just revealing something about himself.
New allegations.
Wow. Okay. No.
But was that inspired or is that just a happy little
I
coincidence?
feel like it
With how big of Lego fans made that movie, I wouldn't be surprised. But
Same.
anyway,
back to Clutch.
back to
back to God powers.
yeah, back to
Can never lose.
right. So Clutch and the prince are stuck in the cage when they realize the wizard thinks that he doesn't have the sword or whatever.
Yeah, and then Hogar's like, "Okay, now I gotta go bring the sword." He brings it to the castle, and then they
Right.
both realize the sword's not there. And then
That's-
he's just like,
yep.
"Oh, you tricked me, Hogar!" So he picks him up with his staff, and then
Yeah.
just flings him across.
Right.
And he could have gone like,
right.
he could have gone from the castle down to Timbuktu for all I care. But you know where
Right.
he ends up? In front of the wall.
right.
in front of the wall to protect.
Just so
the good
convenient.
land.
Right. So, you know, he's basically exited the movie at this point, and
For now.
Clutch is like, oh well.
Where's the sword? And then Varen's like, oh, it's still.
Now
in the-
keep in mind.
Yes.
The only way that the wizard was able to communicate all this information to the people was by using a like sky kind of magic thing where he talks to people. Like imagine like a FaceTime call, but in the sky. Just figure it out. You know what I'm talking about.
It's like FaceTime calls.
Like Wizard of Oz, kind of that.
Yeah.
For some reason, he didn't shut down the spell yet, so they could still see Clutch and Varen, I guess. So Clutch uses this brilliant
turn the stream
opportunity.
off.
He did.
Yeah, exactly.
He did turn the stream
End
off.
stream.
Yeah,
They saw some weird things going on from the stream in the sky.
yeah, his private life got a little too public. But anyway,
Yeah.
so
It's over.
Varen and Clutch are still on the screen.
Yep.
Or whatever. And Clutch uses this opportunity to spell out Lego with bones.
Which they all interpret as we need to build.
Yeah, how
It's like
To
like-
inspire the masses
Yeah, and
to
then-
help.
Yeah, and then later on, like it was just like Brick, can you get like an arsenal going? And he's just like, give him 5 minutes. I'll give you an arsenal, and he knows.
But he left.
Everybody laughed
God
at him.
Powers preaching the good word.
Clutch Powers, except
Lord help me, God Powers.
Clutch.
I
likes-
work alone.
When you build me up brick by brick.
When
I know I can do all good
you
things.
gotta work together.
I know I can do all things through you, God Powers.
Yeah, and then
God, please, the Black Gospel Lego Choir.
Of Clutch Powers.
I would
Clutch Powers
pay.
choir
Can we get the Detroit Youth Choir to do that?
Oh my
to
God,
do like
dude.
an acapella of I Work Alone.
They ain't doing anything.
No, they're not.
No.
Since they're
out of school.
Lost AGT.
Right.
Yeah, they did.
But
yeah,
they'll win Clutch Powers. But anyway,
Yeah.
so
they won our they
Clutch
won
Powers
Clutch Powers
concert. Just bringing back a 14-year-old movie that not a lot of people watch
or
Right.
they care about.
but back,
or care about.
right,
Yeah.
back to the freaking Clutch Chronicle.
Bernie
over
is
here.
having an existential
Yeah.
crisis about like how this is not going to work, and then
Peg makes out with him for a bit.
yeah, they do a little Lego tonguing.
Because Legos do have tongues. The jester spit.
Yeah,
at
and then
the
she's
one
like,
guy,
yeah.
so-
oh, okay,
Yeah.
I'll do it. So then they build up another car from
Yeah,
Lego
feminism
agents.
really stopped in its tracks that day. But
It really,
So saith
really
God
felt-
Clutch Powers.
it really fell apart there.
yeah. But anyway,
And then they built another car, which was also from Lego Agents, and
yay.
the
Yeah.
what's it called? The troll or the goblin uses his eyes as magnifying glasses to see the car coming, and he runs around frantically, and then he hits a wall, doesn't break, but the door opens.
Right.
And he's just like standing there, like, ugh, I'm dead.
I believe the term you're looking for, Shane, is orc.
Yeah.
Orc, goblin, nah, whatever it is.
How much money? This is kind of a separate thing here. I'm getting off track. How much money would it cost to collect every single set / piece from Clutch Powers?
Well, here's the
Like it would basically be like collecting every single set shown in the movie.
right,
Yeah.
which I don't remember. If
There's a
every
lot
set
of them.
Exists.
The fire department, police station, the
all of
spaceship.
Lego City.
yeah.
Yeah, the power miner set. Space,
You're gonna be broke.
Night
That's the
Okay.
agents.
Okay. Moral of the story: broke. Got it.
Right.
Anyways, back
Nothing's
to this
changed.
movie.
But anyway, so they
Nothing's changed.
so Clutch and Varen
So
break
real.
out of the cell or whatever.
Yeah.
Good for them, I guess. So they break out and they're traversing or whatever, and they get back to fight the wizard. Now the Clutch is, I guess, I don't remember. I think he's like detained at this point or whatever. I don't even remember.
Who's detained?
Clutch? I don't freaking
Yeah,
remember.
yeah,
I
no,
don't
yeah.
care.
They're detained, and then the dragon comes in, which is Peg's pet now.
That's right. The
Which-
dragon frees them. That's right.
Yeah, and then the dragon comes by, saves them, and then Malik sees what happens, and then he uses his lightning powers.
Where was the dragon for the rest of the movie?
It was in a cave.
Just off screen,
Just hanging out.
memeing around.
It did burn feminism. I mean, Peg. Sorry.
Whoa.
Oh,
But yeah, so then the dragon shows up
Peg,
for
the
that
only
scene.
speck of feminism.
God, Peg's the
Yeah.
feminist icon we need.
Get that in Times Square.
Listen, all I'm saying is your movement would be a lot more effective if Peg was on it.
Oh, so true.
But anyway.
And then we get And then Malik calls for Skelly and Bones, but what are they doing?
They're fighting.
Playing Snake Eyes.
Yeah, after they watch their uncle die. But
Right.
Yeah, oh yeah, Uncle Morty. He that cost him an arm and a leg.
Right, but anyway. So they're playing Snake Eyes, and then here's the part that I was mad about. So remember that whole no technology rule
Yeah.
that we established?
Wait, I know what scene you're talking about.
So, and then good old Brick builds a jetpack. Here's my question. If they can't use the laser guns, why can they use the jetpack?
Because it's not a laser.
There's no tech.
Our weapons aren't good here. It's gas,
What?
gas powered.
Right. But that's different.
But no.
That's lasers.
It's
Yeah.
jetpack.
It's not
Gas.
a laser.
It's gasoline.
That's
I don't
gas.
care.
It's fire.
It's powered by Octane.
The plot convenience go burr. Oh, we can't use our big old guns, but let's use our jetpack. Give me
Charlie's fuming.
The God Clutch Power said it was okay.
Yeah, God,
Free of God Clutch Powers.
Revoked
I
the-
say
he
jetpacks
revoked-
can work.
He revoked the weights off of his back because he realized he needed to win. Let me erase this commandment real quick.
The amendment.
Let me pull out the white out real quick. I'll remove this.
God.
We'll remove Article Red, Section Blue, Paragraph 3.
You ever think Moses ever looked at the amendments and go, I don't know, man.
Is there Lego Moses in this Clutch Powers God universe?
I don't know. I mean, maybe.
Because Clutch Powers is God.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
There's no more New or Old Testament. It's
probably
just
get
the
back on
Clutch
the story.
Testament.
Is Clutch Powers like God, or are we following like biblical rules? Is like he's Jesus, like he's walking, as the
No.
man on earth? Is
he's
this
a-
just straight up God on earth, just
God.
having a good time,
God on Lego.
memeing
Earth.
around?
Okay, now back to the movie.
that is this movie we can't seem to finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going. So
well,
now they're
alright.
fighting. Now Brick crashes in
Yeah,
to the castle,
defeats the
fights the skeletons,
skeletons.
and then Bernie, who's on the ground hopping around, sees that he's fighting,
Yeah.
like that Brick's fighting the skeletons. He throws the piece, mixes up the bones, and then he's just like, I knew it would come in handy. But then,
Yeah.
and then the skeletons are just like built in weird ways, which is.
Which your perfect throw,
Yeah, a perfect
Yeah,
road. How long did it
conveniently.
take you to do that? And then
Right.
it gets to Clutch and Varen meeting the wizard one more time for a fight, and then
Right. And then
Varen's able to hold the sword and work with it,
Yeah.
but then Clutch Powers destroyed the crystal ball, and he's just like, I already found my dad. He's in my heart and alive.
Yeah, guys, come on,
And
let's
then
get
as
out of
Varen
here.
is fighting the wizard, Clutch is just standing in the
I'm gonna go find my dad, Fritz. See you later.
yeah. All right, you're on your own. I'll see
That's
ya.
the energy I get from this movie a lot. Is it's like the come on, let's get out of here.
Come on, gang. Let's Barbados. But anyway,
Let's go get some milk.
But back to the story. Then Varen and Malik start fighting
fight.
for like 5 minutes, and then Malik charges up his sword,
Right.
and he's just like, "Yeah, I got the power."
the
and then
sword. Yeah, the sword
locks
gets on
him up.
fire. He shoots the
then
wizard with
somehow
chains or whatever.
The chains.
I don't know.
It
Pulls
arrests
a master
him.
sword.
Yeah, the master sword, and then.
It's all the inspirations in this movie.
Clutch Powers.
without his staff, and he's all chained together, his power goes away, and all the orcs and the skeletons start disappearing.
They
Like
die.
Thanos snapped his fingers, and then everybody lives. It's a happy
Yeah, that's
ending.
basically the end of the movie. Clutch shows up.
Yeah,
takes-
and
takes the-
there's the ceremony where he becomes king,
Right.
And then it goes back to the Lego headquarters, and
Right.
then there's another mission where they have to
Find
go to
an-
another planet to find another villain.
and they.
And then it just stops.
Yep.
yeah, it starts with them looking at the screen like, "Hey, goodbye," and then it just cuts to the credits.
What I feel like what happened was like they had like all the writers were in a room. It's like a school setting,
First writer.
and then it was
Yeah.
like 3, 2, 1. Okay, pencils down, and they just stopped the movie right
Yeah.
there.
And they just stretched out what they had.
Guys, it's been 14 years.
We're not getting-
Where's Clutch Powers 2?
I know there's like the 4D adventure, and there's another one which is like Bad
Right.
Hair Day. There's another like little mini here. I'll find it on YouTube. Hold on.
I was
Hold
aware
on,
of the
there's a sequel that we didn't know about.
I was aware of the Legoland ride, but I
Right.
wasn't aware
yeah,
of.
yeah. Clutch Powers Bad Hair Day. It's
What?
an actual thing.
What?
Yeah, and that's it's an actual thing. And then there's Skelly and Bones with Peg's wig.
Oh, I mean, don't play it. We're gonna get
Yeah, I'm not gonna
copyright
play it
strike.
yet.
Yeah. Play 1 second of I Work Alone. Whole podcast.
We're gonna get
gone.
copyright strike.
They don't care enough to copyright that thing.
Yeah,
No, that's why we're gonna put it for. That's why we're changing our intro and outro music to "I Work Alone."
I'm quitting.
with the audio.
He's out. He's done.
I quit alone.
I quit alone.
But yeah. So all in all, this movie is about a god who goes on
plays
an
with
adventure.
mortals.
It's a god who wins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the whole movie.
yeah. He manipulated this whole story. It's all in his mind. He created a story so that the good guys would win.
Yeah, they wrote-
AKA him and
Yeah.
only him.
Yeah, because he
Yeah.
works alone.
Exactly. So technically, he did work alone.
You right? Yeah, just wraps back around. There you go.
Yeah, he
Just
was
like our
he was
Zaz
alone.
episode. Go check it out. It's cool.
Yeah, definitely, because that came out today as of June
As of
13th.
this recording, yes.
Yes.
But yeah, so that's the epic adventure of I Work Alone, Clutch Powers, and his
I just
reliable crew. I can't speak today.
Good job,
Group.
Words are hard.
Yeah, I can tell with his group of Lego crackers.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't understand, and okay. I understand why they ended it the way they did. It's
Sequel
because
bait.
for the sequel, right?
but
But the sequel never happened.
Right.
So either, and there's this Bad Hair Day, which haven't seen that one before. Was that like a special, like a bonus feature or something?
Yeah. Will there ever be a Clutch Powers 2? This movie never received a sequel, and the Lego Movie did is what. Yeah. Okay.
The
So I'm
Lego
saying
Movie was not a sequel.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
It's its own entity.
Came out 4 years
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
But-
But in all seriousness, listen.
Yeah.
I know that Clutch Powers 2 would be so stupid.
Oh yeah.
I know.
But I mean,
I understand. We've been waiting.
we've been 14 years.
Yeah.
14 as of this recording. 14 years.
Hey, listen. 14 years was the amount of time we had to wait for Incredibles 2.
Exactly.
Why can't we wait that amount of time for Clutch Powers?
Somebody put in one of their reviews, I also disowned my 6th child after he told me that he didn't want to watch it again.
That's wow.
Dude, I want to read these reviews so bad.
So this is a hot take here. I know we got to get wrapped up.
Right.
This is a really hot take here. I know we joked in the Bolt episode about Bolt 2.
Yeah.
And listen, Bolt 2 would go hard. Sure.
It's coming, guys.
But honestly, if I had to pick between Bolt 2 and Clutch Powers 2, I would like Clutch Powers 2 more.
Yeah, it would be
It's not
amazing.
fun to either of them.
Just leave them
Sit
as
there,
is.
No one gets what they want.
But here's the thing: Bolt ended like not sequel worthy.
Oh,
Clutch
right.
Powers set up the sequel,
But do you think it was sequel worthy?
set up the media empire that could have been Clutch Powers.
Aaron, with how much we complained about Clutch Powers and his godlike status.
Listen. It's your first movie. It's your first time around. You make mistakes. It's Clutch Powers. Clutch Powers 2, fix them all.
Don't pat him on the back like he's the special kid. Don't freaking.
Well,
do
he's
that.
God. He's Clutch Powers
He's
the God.
specialist of them all.
Yeah.
Like, don't just because Clutch Powers made a stinky movie, don't go. We'll figure it out.
They could fix it though.
Really?
Yeah.
You think so?
They could fix it in Clutch Powers 2.
If-
And we
if
will
that
be
would've
here
happened.
for Clutch Powers 2.
We'll have a
if they
watch party for
We
it.
will have a watch party, and we will
Bulgarian
do another
guy,
episode of it.
Frank. You
Bulgarian
guys
guy,
are invited.
you're the closest to the Lego headquarters. Knock on the door.
Yeah,
now.
tell the CEO to make the Lego
When?
movie.
This
or
is your
Lego
mission,
Clutch Powers
okay?
2.
Right.
Your mission right now. Lego headquarters. Knock on the door. Nothing else. Don't say anything else to him. Just Clutch Powers 2.
Clutch
And then walk away. Simple as that.
Clutch Powers. Like that one guy in the beginning. Clutch Powers.
Clutch Powers. But
Clutch Powers.
I guess to wrap this up, well, listen. Clutch
Yeah.
Powers walks so a lot of other movies could run in this regard. Obviously, the Lego
Oh, of
movie.
course.
The Lego movie came out 4 years later. Phenomenal movie. A little bit to do a pod about that.
Yeah.
And then
Which we
there's also
will.
the Lego Batman movie, which came out in 2017.
Not just one of the best animated movies in the past years, but one of the best comic book movies. But anyway.
And then
So-
there's the Lego Ninjago movie, which was 2018, I think. 27, like also 2017,
Yeah.
2018.
You don't like that one that much, do you?
It was all right.
It was Clutch Powers.
Yeah, it's not like Clutch Powers. I did like the designs, but it's nothing like Clutch Powers.
But anyway, then we got Lego Movie 2.
Which was 2019.
Yeah.
It was fine.
It was all right. And then we're getting another Lego
Yeah.
I
movie.
thought Lego Movie 2 was 2020.
No, it was 2019. I remember.
Was it?
Yeah, and then now we're getting another quote unquote Lego movie about Pharrell
Pharrell
Williams.
Williams.
Which You said you want to see it because it sounds interesting.
This is the weirdest idea for a biopic I've seen in my life, and I can't stop thinking about
And
it.
they're coming out with a
Pharrell-
Lego set for it too.
Is Pharrell like canonically a Lego fan?
I think
don't
he
know.
is.
He just.
Do we know this fact?
I mean, I would.
New Pharrell fact?
Yeah.
New Pharrell
Welcome
allegations.
to the Pharrell Williams podcast.
No.
Quick synopsis.
Quick synopsis.
Anyway.
But yeah, they're coming out with a Lego set for him.
The
and I-
coveted. 0 out of
Stop.
10.
That's what Clutch Powers get.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Charlie's 1 hour movie marathon, where I take a look at nothing.
We also
Okay.
got Lego Snoop Dogg before Clutch Powers 2.
Yeah, that's
Crazy.
true.
All right, let's.
So to kind of tie it all in a bow,
Yeah.
we all saw this movie as a kid.
Yes.
And we've all seen it
As
adults.
as of recent as an adult. How do you compare and contrast to your childhood viewing versus your now viewing?
This movie did not hold up.
Childhood,
think
I
so?
wanted like a bunch of those sets, but they
Of
were
course.
all retired, and I couldn't get my hands on them, and unless if I went to eBay. But now watching
Right.
as an adult, it's like I see all the little stuff in the movie that makes it iffy, you know?
Yeah. Again, I said this in the beginning. I only remembered like 12 minutes of this movie.
Right.
And nothing else.
And nothing else. Which again, you titled the I know you titled one of the, I don't know if that's going to say the permanent thumbnail of why do we all remember him?
Stop. Don't do it. Don't. Okay, because you guys can't see. Aaron was giving me very sarcastic
Why?
Aaron
Yeah.
quotes.
The why do we all
Why do we all
remember him?
Clutch Powers?
we all remember
But-
Clutch Powers.
I mean, I do remember Clutch Powers. That's the thing, though. Nothing else
And
really
he
stuck with me.
remembers
The
you.
character, of course, did.
Oh, yeah.
But I will always remember Clutch Powers. I mean, with my family, my
Yeah.
mother, for whatever reason, big shout outs to my mother, was obsessed with that song, "The I Work Alone." This is a canonical fact. Aaron's mom fact. My mother, at one point in her life, was obsessed with the "I Work Alone" song and would sing it all the time. So.
wow.
I
Charlie's
heard that probably more than I actually
Charlie's
watched the
face.
entire movie, which is weird. You're fuming over that right now.
He's-
So
No, it's just the whitest thing I've heard in my life.
right, yeah, of course. Just like the entire movie,
Yeah. Not one lick of diversity in Clutch Powers.
I know.
right? Yeah, but
Where's the black Legos?
Where's the
I don't see
albino
one.
Legos?
I don't see one.
we know who this movie was made for. Yeah.
A certain demographic.
Do we want to go there?
We're
I
ending
don't
the
think.
episode.
Yeah. That's it.
Thank you guys so much for listening to the Double Podcast podcast.
Thank you.
This has been a clutch-tastic episode. I cannot wait to cover the other Lego movies where there actually are black people. Thank you, Shane. Thank you for actually suggesting this episode. This is a great title. I've been Charlie Robinson. This has been Shane Siegel, and this has been Aaron Gusser. Thank you for listening to the Double After Hours podcast,
okay.
and we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.
No. Okay. All right. Well, again,
Oh man.
thanks again for listening.
Oh my
everybody.
God, dude.
I'm Shane Siegel, and you all. This has been a clutch-tastic, as Charlie said, experience where we were building the blocks of the story of this weird, interesting story. And yeah, thank you for listening. I'm Shane Siegel, and I'll see you guys in the future.
Aaron Gresser. What a white movie. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Double After Hours podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Be sure to check out our social media pages on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I'm Aaron Gresser, and thanks for staying after hours.